rookies who started for the Cowboys today, and how have they done? Well, let's check. Harper, 3 catches, 67 yards.
Well, we'll give him a B.
Okay.
We'll give Williams a D- for those 3 sacks. Brown, hey, that's a B+. And Edwards, that's a C.
How come the B for Harper?
Well, he's a rookie. I don't give A's to rookies.
Kelvin Martin just to his left. Alvin Harper limped off and probably will be back in. Alexander Wright has taken his place. Now this is Wright in motion. Ricky Blake.
The gift to number 46, Ricky Blake.
Came into the game with 6 carries for 38 yards, all against Cincinnati. Young man who played in the World League, also the Canadian League with Winnipeg. He even spent some time with a semi-pro team in Oklahoma City.
And the Cowboys did a smart thing with him when he joined the team. They put him on the injured reserve so his body could rest and get ready for the NFL, which is a few notches above all those other initials.
Second down. At the 40, Dallas up by 10. Final quarter. Vern Lundquist along with Dan Fouts. Aikman to Blake. To the 35. And that's his first catch of the season.
Well, and he found out about the intensity of the National Football League with that hit. But when you talk about a storybook way of starting your NFL career against Cincinnati, he goes 30 yards with his first carry for a touchdown. That's like hitting a grand slam your first time up in baseball.
Dallas now with another 3rd down. They have converted 1 of 8. And they lead it by 10. Novacek followed by McDonald. Blitz is coming. Aikman, it's a hot receiver. Michael Irvin with the first down at the 25. Irvin, who is having his best season. He has already surpassed the number of catches he made in his best years. That was 32. And suffered a knee injury and was out for the equivalent of almost a full year.
Boy, and you can just see his confidence grow in the nonverbal communication part of the game with the quarterback. That ball was well on its way long before Irvin had stopped on his hook pattern. A lot of confidence between Aikman and his receiver.
1st and 10. Alvin Harper starts in motion. Ricky Blake, whoa, he almost dropped it. And then totes that 240 down to the 11-yard line. Fumble!
Well, the ball was stripped away, but the official is saying that his forward progress was stopped before Robert Massey ripped it away from him. At the first part of this play, Vern, you were right. He didn't have the ball. Picks it up, and now the hole is that much bigger. But watch at the end of this play as the Cardinals gang tackle him. Zordich, Lynch, and Massey. Massey's ripping it away right now. But again, it's one of those officials calling the play dead. Stop of forward progress. And his knee might even have been down. That's a good call.
Play whistle dead at the end of the ball, at the end of the run. And the Cowboys do have a first down. There's Massey finally hauling it out, but the knee appeared to be down. Alvin Harper in motion. Blake again. Down to the 10-yard line. Emmitt Smith with 48 yards and 17 carries. We've no official word from the bench that he's out with an injury. They may be just giving him a rest, but we're checking on that.
Yeah, it was interesting in that Cincinnati game. I asked Johnson if he was giving Emmitt Smith a rest at that time when he put Blake in for his first carry. He said, no, not really. I like Ricky Blake. I like that 245 pounds. I want to see what he can do.
Well, he's rushed for 28 yards on 5 carries and 1 catch so far. And we've now been told from the Cowboy bench that this is just a rest period for Emmitt Smith. 10th play of the drive for the Cowboys. 2nd down and 8 from the 10. Blake again. Down to the 8-yard line. And here comes Emmitt Smith back onto the field. 10:40 remaining in the ball game.
Well, we got an interesting situation coming up now with 3rd down and about 6 yards, but only on the 8-yard line. The field shrinks so much here. Tough to get the ball in these type of zones.
Harper goes wide right. Kelvin Martin starts in motion. Quarterback draw, and the Cardinals were ready for it. Freddie Joe Nunn not fooled for a second. And Ken Harvey was also right there.
Well, they'll share that sack because although it was a running play, they got Aikman in the backfield. Watch as nobody blocks Nunn on the right side of our screen, and Harvey lined up inside that time on the guard, and they're going to take half a sack each. There you see Nunn working scot-free on the outside.
That brings on Ken Willis for a 27-yard field goal. He's kicked 1 of 36 in the first half. Got it.
That ball was deflected too.
I thought so.
Yeah, you could hear the double thud there, but it went through.
And it increases the Dallas lead to 13 with 9:51 remaining.
For McDonald's McLean Deluxe, Kevin Green.
I know what you're thinking. Who? Story of my life. You won't see me in a Diet Coke commercial. You just don't get famous by being 91. Take McLean Deluxe. It's 91% fat-free, but all people talk about is its big burger taste. No one remembers 91.
Hey, you! Out of the locker room!
McLean Deluxe, unforgettable taste at McDonald's today.
Sorry, Green. Green. I gotta write that down.
Power. Applied intelligently, its effects are magnificent. Witness the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Powered by the world's largest 24-valve V6 engine and an electronic transmission. It's a car designed to provide a more intelligent standard of performance, measured not simply in miles per hour, but by a slightly different gauge, miles per gallon. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
So I'm doing my sound check.
Hello.
And I hear this woman's voice.
Crunch that last chord. I'll show you.
She grabbed the guitar.
And then she started rocking. No, I mean rocking.
You're pretty good. Not.
Someone that hot deserves something this cold. Suddenly, I remembered this was a bud spot.
I like your style.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Thus far in the ballgame, Johnny Johnson 11 shy of his first 100-yard game of the season, but Phoenix has turned it over 3 times. Emmitt Smith has been limited to a half 100 yards -2, and Troy Aikman, despite being 15 of 21, has thrown a couple of interceptions. The real difference in this ball game, the kicking game. And there's Ken Willis, short kick, bounces up and taken by Larry Centers, who gets it out near the 34-yard line. Let's go back and take a look at that last field goal by Ken Willis, Dan.
Well, let's check out Ken Harvey's having a heck of a day with 3.5 sacks. He's number 56 right here. Watch as he penetrates, and now let's listen for the dreaded double thud.
Well, thud.
Just got 3 fingers on it. If he would have got a couple more, he might have stopped it from going through.
Ken Harvey, 3 sacks in the first half. Tom Tupa's last 2 passes were picked off. That one's batted up in the air and almost picked off again. Jeffcoat this time. That is 3 times today that the Cowboy defensive line has deflected Tupa's passes.
Well, and some of it is Tupa's fault for that sidearm delivery of his. Here he is. He's 6'5", but he throws it as if he was only 5'11". Jeffcoat with great timing with his left hand, and Tupa's real lucky that 3rd pass wasn't intercepted.
13 of 27 for Tom Tupa. He's going deep right side, and Randall Hill is open, but he was out of bounds, and it is knocked away. Well, we talked about that unusual throwing motion of Tom Tupa. It's not even three-quarter. It's almost Ewell Blackwell submarine style. What is the difference in how you threw it and how he does?
Well, you know, you try to get up high here because you have all those defensive linemen that are so tall, and we can see how they can jump. But Tupa has a tendency to come down here, and so it's very easy to see the ball and also to deflect it at the line of scrimmage.
And that has happened to him 3 times today. Under pressure, goes left, dropped. Johnson. It'll be 4th down. 9:25 remaining in the ball game. Joe Bugle.
Following the incomplete pass, Aikman formation, Rich Camarillo.
Absolutely one of the most enjoyable men in the NFL in his 2nd full season. Calvin Martin back to return the punt of Rich Camarillo. Fair catch at the 32. Cowboys defense holds a 34-yard punt. Camarillo not having a good day, and he's had a terrific season. Dallas has it with a 13-point lead.
It took all day. But they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a laser jet from Hewlett-Packard?
There's something new, you're gonna love it. From KFC, it's called the Go Bucket.
KFC introduces Go Buckets. Enjoy original recipe, hot wings, and extra tasty crispy chicken.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
If your face were square, shaving would be simple, but your face has curves. You need the Schick Tracer, with a blade that flexes to put more of the blade edge against your skin. Tracer from Schick traces every curve on your face.
It's a car born of intelligent engineering. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Hewlett-Packard laser jet printers, they'll get you noticed. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, to remind you friends know when to say when.
20-7, Dallas has the lead. 9:17 remaining. Cowboys trying to go 3-2 at home for the season, and 6-3 for the season. Alvin Harper starts in motion. Aikman hands it off to Emmitt Smith. And he dances out across the 35 to the 36, his 18th carry of the ball game. Coming up next week, the NFL on CBS. Atlanta at Washington. Cowboys go to Houston. Philadelphia's at Cleveland. And the 49ers are at New Orleans. And 4 o'clock, the Phoenix Cardinals back home against the New York Giants. Troy Aikman and his teammates make their visit to the House of Pain down at the Astrodome. 2nd down and 7. 8:38 remaining in the game. Aikman back, left side. Caught by Calvin Martin, or rather Michael Irvin. And there is a flag in the offensive backfield, roughing the passer.
Well, Aikman is as tough a quarterback as there is in the NFL. But the first thing you notice about him is his ability to throw the deep out pattern.
Roughing the passer, a blow to the head.
Oh, that's a shot right in the face by Tyrone Stowe. Aikman told me earlier in the year that he's taken 40 stitches to his chin. That's why he wears that plastic chin strap. But you talk about a tough guy. That was a heck of a shot, and the ball was perfectly thrown.
to Michael Irvin. Plus the penalty.
Tyrone got his money's worth on that one.
41.5-yard line, 1st and 10.
Somebody might get some of his money if they review it. Other scores from earlier this afternoon. The Cowboys trying to go 6-3. Phoenix 4-5 on the season. They started off so impressively with 2 road wins. Here's Emmitt Smith after the penalty is marked off to the Phoenix 41. He's down to the 37-yard line.
Well, you can see the frustration of Craig Patterson, number 76. It's like, how could I possibly miss him? I had him dead to right. But Emmitt is the type of guy that just does not give you a clean shot at him.
Emmitt Smith gets 4 yards.
Go back and take a look at Troy Aikman's delivery when he was hit in the face by Tyrone Stowe.
Well, that's just pure courage there, because he knows he's going to get it. He knows his job is to get the ball to his receiver. Look at that perfect throw under the worst type of condition.
Toss to Smith with Tommy Agee leading the way. And he's down to the 33-yard line. Aeneas Williams makes the tackle.
That type of play by Aikman is what will set him apart from many, many quarterbacks in the National Football League. It's that intangible part of the game called courage that you have to have, especially in this type of offense.
Where do you put him, Dan, in respect with regard to some of the Elways and Marinos and current quarterbacks in the league?
Well, he's only in his 3rd year in the league, so I don't put him in that company just yet. But the more I see of him, the more I like him, because I can see almost through a crystal ball his future, which when you combine it with his age and the fact that he's now running an outstanding offense by Norv Turner, it's a great combination. Aikman is going to be in the top echelon of NFL quarterbacks.
He was the #1 draft choice of the Dallas Cowboys 3 years ago. They have to use a timeout. 6:35 remaining.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The charismatic combination of Joe Namath and Don Maynard helped establish an entire league. Maynard was the first player ever to gain over 10,000 yards receiving, and Namath delivered on his boast in Super Bowl III. As individuals, their skills carried them to the Hall of Fame. Together as teammates, they helped bring credibility to the American Football League and made the Jets the best they can be.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2. Fire!
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Enemy tank, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces together.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated.
Be all that you can be.
We did it, sir.
Outstanding. Get an edge on life in the Army.
Introducing a car so intelligently engineered, it can be measured along these lines or graded on a curve. The 1992 Oldsmobile 88 Royale, engineered to prove that a straight line isn't always the best way to get from point A to point B. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
Texas Stadium in Irving, the Cowboys 6 minutes and 35 seconds away from their 6th victory of the year. 20-7. Troy Aikman didn't really get along that well with David Shula, the former offensive coordinator, and his teammates referred to him as kind of a wild horse, a thoroughbred. And Kevin Gogan and some of the line has had some fun with Aikman this year because he's got such a solid relationship with the new offensive coordinator, Norv Turner. They say that Aikman, instead of being a wild horse, is now a member of a petting zoo.
He's sold out.
3rd and 2. Flags are down.
Well, it's either 66 white or 66 red. Gogan in the white or Waller.
I think they're going to call it on Waller, judging from the respective reactions of the two.
Boy, and judging from all the blue paint on all these white helmets, you wonder if the Cowboys came out here today with wet paint on their helmets. Well, he's been mixing it up.
Well, we've got another look at Gogan's jersey. I am reminded watching these officials huddle. I watched here's the
Encroachment, 66 defense.
They got Waller, and that'll be a first down for Dallas. I was watching a superb NFL Films documentary the other night called Autumn Ritual, and they quoted the columnist George Will. He said, the thing that is the biggest problem football has is that it combines the two most evil elements of the 20th century, violence and committee meetings. First and 10 Dallas. 6:35 remaining in the ball game. Cowboys have been penalized just once. They haven't been penalized that much this year, only 40 times. Emmitt Smith. Oh, the Cardinals have held him in check today. Tyrone Stowe, one of those who helped with a tackle.
Hey, you know, the Cardinal defense has really played a darn good football game. They've been victimized by the special teams. The opening kickoff of the day put the Cowboys inside the 20-yard line. Then a blocked punt by Robert Williams set the Cowboy offense up in good shape. But this Cardinal defense, they've come up with 5 sacks today, and they've held Emmitt Smith in check, as you said, Vern.
Cowboys have reversed the time of possession stat from the first game. It's second down and 10 now with 5:50 remaining in the ball game. Aikman finally gets rid of it to Novacek, and he is down at the 22-yard line. Tyrone Stowe with a tackle.
Well, Novacek is in motion here, number 84, and he is Troy's outlet receiver on this play. Good job of just working, staying alive for your quarterback, and picking up a nice gain.
Novacek with 5 catches now for 38 yards. And that gives him 46 for the season. Michael Irvin has 4 catches today, so he's got 46 for the year. Time has been called by the Cardinals. It comes with 5:32 remaining in the game.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
At Braun, we believe even if you're not at your best in the morning, at least you can look like you are. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
Cowboys lead it by 13, 5:32 remaining. Dallas at Houston next week. The Cardinals back home against the New York Giants. 3rd and 4. Up the middle to Daryl Johnston, the fullback from Syracuse. Yesterday, Johnston, commenting about his lack of running, said, how about this? I got 7 catches or 7 runs for the year. Well, there's number 8.
Well, the key to this play is Emmitt Smith. Watch as he'll swing here. They'll give the ball to Johnson, and he'll cut back over the center. Coming into the game with just a 2.6 yard per carry average, he doubles it that time, picks up a key first down.
Daryl Johnston says, here I am with 7 catches for the season. And Emmitt Smith thinks he's had an off day if he doesn't carry 30 times a game. 1st and 10 Dallas. Johnston. Well, there's his 9th carry of the year.
Well, that average is going to go way up because he's getting good push from the line of scrimmage. These guys up front, Giesick and Stepnoski and Nate Newton on the right side. Gogan comes off and just crushes Stowe, and that's where Johnston cuts back and takes the ball inside the 10. He's having fun.
16 yards. His total for the season was 18.
You had to go in and renegotiate.
Give me the ball again, coach. Johnston and Smith in the backfield. He has led the way for 2 Emmitt Smith touchdowns. 1st and goal from the 6. They gave it to him. And he's down to the 3.
Now, we talked about the schedule for the Cowboys coming up. They've got Houston with the Battle of Texas next week down in the Dome. And then the Giants on the road and Washington on the road. And Jimmy Johnson says, you know, I'm not that worried about this schedule. We played Houston in the preseason. We practiced against them. We've already beaten the Giants. We almost beat the Redskins, so we're familiar with these opponents. But he's still got to play them, and he's still got to play them on the road.
And then the team gets back home for Thanksgiving against Pittsburgh. 2nd and goal from the 3. Johnston has carried the last 3 times. Here's Smith. More familiar territory. Johnston lead, and Smith gets his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Well, again, it's the lead draw play for the Cowboys, the play they scored on to begin their scoring for the day. Again, it's Emmitt Smith following Daryl Johnston on that right side behind Giesick and Nate Newton. Stepnoski with a nice block. And total domination on that drive on the ground by the Cowboys.
Emmitt Smith coming in today. The Cowboys were 10-0 when he carried 18 times or more in a game. He's carried 22 times today. So that record may stay unblemished. Willis's extra point gives the Cowboys a 20-point lead.
Pringles corn crisps, more corn for your taste, less fat for your waist.
More fresh roasted whole kernel corn.
And you know what? They've got a lot less fat than the leading corn chip. Look, you can even see the difference.
More and less Pringles corn crisps, more corn for your taste, less fat for your waist. Pringles corn crisps.
More corn, less fat.
A couple of things to look at on this lead draw. Right here is Nate Newton on Jeff Faulkner, but watch also the outstanding block of Daryl Johnston on Tyrone Stowe as he cuts his legs out from under him and allows Emmitt to get in the end zone. Good teamwork. But you almost kind of wish that they gave the ball to Johnston for all the hard work he did on that drive to get him down on that goal line. But that's not the way it's going to work when you got Emmitt Smith in the backfield.
Anthony Edwards and Larry Centers are the deep men. This will be Edwards at the 7. He comes to his right. And James Washington does a pretty good job of containing Larry Centers. That's a return of 20. And Mickey Pruitt a little slow getting up for the Cowboys. Rams still leading, as is Miami.
Emmitt Smith has scored 8 touchdowns on the ground this year. 5 have been against the Phoenix Cardinals.
And the sun beginning to set here at Irving, Texas Stadium in Irving. The clock shows 2:56 remaining in the ball game. 27-20. And that pass complete to Randall Hill out at the 45-yard line. Well, for the Cowboys, a complete reversal. They gave up 24 points to Detroit in the second half last week. And Steve Berline came in at the end of the game and threw 3 for 5. Looks like he may get to play again today. First down, Tupa back. Dropped.
That's intended for Larry Centers.
Well, we talked about the Cowboys' tough schedule. Phoenix, despite playing a 5th-place schedule, has a very difficult road ahead.
Well, you know, the 49ers are going to be in a bit of a problem with Steve Young now with a bad knee. But, you know, you got the Giants at home. And Philadelphia, there's a team that nobody can quite figure out, depending on the health of their quarterbacks. Has a lot to do with how they play.
2nd and 10. Blitz coming. Tupa, good protection. Knocked away by Larry Brown, the rookie, at right corner. Phoenix, well, how dismal has it been recently? One team they've defeated that has had a winning record in the last 46 games. And that was Philadelphia on the road, game 2 this year.
That was a game where their defense scored a touchdown for them, and that's something that with only scoring 7 points again today, that 12 points per game average that they've been having so far, it's going to go down.
Tupa finds Walter Reeve. No, it's Jordan, the tie of the H-back at the 50-yard line. And Kevin Gogan looks on. His work just about complete for the day. The Cowboys are up by 20. And time has been called for an injury at the 50-yard line. Looks like it might be Isaac Holt, the cornerback.
Short yardage needed by Phoenix.
I think you're right, Vern. Number 30, Isaac Holt.
Isaac Holt.
He got a shot in the back, knocked the wind out of him. It's his own man, Bill Bates, is going to come in and tag him as he's making this tackle. Oh, that's a kidney shot. And Isaac, when he catches his breath, he's going to find out where Bates is. Let him have it, I'm sure.
Oh, wait till the film session on Monday. Time has been called.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better. And better and better. Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
I have Denorex on this side. As soon as I put Denorex on my hair, I felt like the itch was going away.
What does the Denorex tingle tell you?
The tingle feels like it's taken away the dandruff.
Extra strength Denorex with conditioners has strong medicine to fight dandruff and its itch, plus conditioners to leave hair healthy looking and manageable.
The Denorex tingle tells me it works, and I see that it works. I have no dandruff, and I have no itch.
Denorex with conditioners, the dandruff shampoo you can feel working.
You! You made me love you. You made me want you.
You know you want the luscious taste of McDonald's Big Mac. Add fries and a Coke for a deal that's irresistible. The extra value meal at McDonald's today.
You know you made me love you. We have a timeout.
Isaac Holt on the sideline with 2:03 remaining. And interesting sequence here. The time was called because of the injury. Holt went over to the sidelines. Cardinals waited until that timeout was just about over. 4th and 3, and then they called timeout. And here is Isaac Holt talking to Ken Norton. I still don't think he knows it was Bill Bates who hit him in the back.
He's not happy about it, regardless.
Look at Mickey Pruitt kind of grinning to the side. The official attendance today, 61,190. And that marks the 12th consecutive game that attendance here at Texas Stadium is over 60,000. And somewhat surprisingly to me, that is a Cowboy club record. Even back during the glory years of the 70s, they never put together 12 crowds of over 60,000 in a row.
Well, that's amazing, because with all the great players they've had here in Dallas, that the fans now hungry for those wins, they're coming out to see Jimmy Johnson's crew.
Phoenix with 1 timeout left. 4th down. Tupa back. Batted down again. James Washington, who has 1 interception, just about got his second. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. 27-7, Cowboys comfortably on top, and they have the football back.
Get into Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never let you down.
You can taste it and feel it and know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else.
Sony compact disc players. Your ears will tell you. It's not only what you play, it's what you play it on.
Power. Applied intelligently, its effects are magnificent. Witness the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Powered by the world's largest 24-valve V6 engine and an electronic transmission. It's a car designed to provide a more intelligent standard of performance, measured not simply in miles per hour, but by a slightly different gauge, miles per gallon. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Coming up tonight on CBS, do yourself a favor before you go grocery shopping again. Watch 60 Minutes. They'll tell you something the food companies would just as soon keep to themselves tonight on CBS. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday movie, The Rape of Dr. Willis. All of that tonight on CBS. First down and 10, Steve Berline has come in for the Cowboys, seeing his second action of the season. He came on in relief of Aikman in the fourth quarter last week. Was 3 of 5 for 26 yards. Here he'll hand it off and they'll run out the clock. A.G. and Blake. And it's Ricky Blake for a yard or two. And the Cardinals can stop the clock just one more time if they so desire.
Now down by 20. Joe Bugle's going to just let this baby go and regroup, try again. 7 points here today for his offense as they continue to struggle without Tim Rosenbach.
And for Jimmy Johnson, on to Houston next week for interstate meeting with the Houston Oilers, who lost a heartbreaker to Washington this afternoon. Today's game was produced by Mark Wolf and directed by Larry Cavallina. And we'll tell you more about the folks who helped after this play. On second down, it's Ricky Blake, and he picks up one down to the 47. Tackle is made by Jeff Faulkner. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer is Ted Shaker.
Number 94, Jeff Faulkner on the stop.
So the Cowboys at 6-3 with 3 road games in succession coming up. Houston, New York, Washington. And the Cardinals will fall to 4-6. They've got the Giants at home next week, then at San Francisco and Philadelphia at home before the open date.
Well, and it was special teams today that gave the Cowboys the lift they needed after special teams let them down last week against the Lions.
150 yards plus for Dallas in the second half. And here is Ricky Blake with a first down to the 39-yard line. The tackle made by Michael Zordich. And that should be the final play of the game. There is an injured player. And it's Blake who's a little slow to get up. Cowboys win it. Jimmy Johnson and Joe Bugle meet at the middle of the field. Don't forget the Cowboys postgame show coming up with Greg and Terry back in our New York studios. Dallas wins it 27-7 behind Emmitt Smith's 3 touchdowns.
Number 6 for the Dallas Cowboys.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and cough medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for, to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick.
No better way to face the day and find it.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. People call them hoagies or heroes or submarines because they're shaped like submarines, but we call them Subway sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub, only $1.69, only at Subway.
Welcome back to our New York studios, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Terry Bradshaw reminding you, coming up next for most of you, the CBS News Magazine 60 Minutes. Do yourself a favor before you go grocery shopping again. Watch 60 Minutes. They'll tell you something the food companies would just as soon keep to themselves. 60 Minutes next, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. And then it's Murder, She Wrote, followed by the CBS Sunday movie. Jacqueline Smith stars in The Rape of Dr. Willis. And remind you, too, we'll be back next Sunday with week number 11, beginning as always at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL Today. And then an outstanding slate of games. The 49ers battle the New Orleans Saints. That is a big NFC West matchup. Atlanta will visit the Redskins at RFK Stadium. Dallas challenges the Oilers at the Astrodome. The Eagles will fly to Cleveland, and the Lions head south to Tampa Bay. And in a 4 o'clock start, some of you will see the Giants playing the Phoenix Cardinals out in Sun Valley. Now, the game that you just saw here on CBS, it was the Dallas Cowboys over the Cardinals by a score of 27-7. Big day for Emmitt Smith running the football. He's the guy you always have to stop.
Well, one of the things that the Cowboys are going to do, Greg, they're going to run Emmitt Smith. They're going to run him and run him. Then they're going to bring this big guy named Blake that Johnson loves. And after they counterpunch with Smith, they'll bust him with Blake. And then, of course, you got Aikman and Novacek, and you got all those receivers. So they've got a pretty good package down there offensively.
Meanwhile, in Anaheim, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. The New Orleans Saints lead the Rams by a score of 24-17 as the Saints look to go 8-1. Bobby Hebert on the sideline saw Steve Walsh get the start and hits Wesley Carroll at the end of the first half.
Now, this is a great throw and a great, right between two people. And Carroll, how in the world he held on to it, but he did, and that put the Saints on top.
And Jim Everett, meanwhile, had a tough day early on, although he has brought the Rams back to within a touchdown. It is 24-17 with just over 2 minutes to play in Anaheim. The Rams 3-5 on the year and trying to climb back into the thick of things in the NFC West. In Indianapolis, Miami is leading the Colts by a score of 10-6, under 2 minutes to play in that game. The Dolphins up by 4. The Colts looking for their first win. Earlier today at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Bears took over the lead in the NFC Central with a 20-10 win over the Detroit Lions. 2 touchdown passes for Jim Harbaugh to Wendell Davis, and Bears have no fear. Well, not on the natural turf anyway. Jim Harbaugh, great day.
Really a nice day. You know, that touchdown last week to Waddle really helped his confidence. He scrambled out, and the thing I like about it, instead of running, which is what he would have liked to have done, he pulled it up, looked downfield, saw Davis, and got him the football. A real mark of a guy that's improving as a quarterback.
Detroit led this game 10-3 at halftime. They were scoreless in the second half. The Bears rallied to win it. In overtime at RFK Stadium, the Redskins over the Houston Oilers by a score of 16-13. The Redskins perfect after 9 games. Warren Moon intercepted by Darrell Green. And what that did was set up Chip Lohmiller for the game-winning field goal from 41 yards out in overtime. Redskins win at 16-13. They go 9-0. Jim Gray on the scene talked with Lohmiller after the game.
I think the guys got me the opportunity, to get out here and get that kick, and I had to do my job.
Redskins are now able to lay claim to being the best team in the league, and not much argument at this stage of the season.
Going into this week's game, my power ranking had the Redskins and I'm telling you now, the Oilers, they were 1-2. Could have been the rematch of the Super Bowl coming up. This was a great game today.
All right, what do you think about the Falcons going to Washington next week to play the Redskins?
Well, I think they're going to go home, we're going to lose the football game. Right now, you got to stay with the Redskins. They're playing good football, good running, good defense, and today they answered a big bell when they came out and took care of the Oilers.
Reason I ask you about the Falcons, incredible game at Fulton County Stadium today against the 49ers. The Falcons survived at the last moment with a victory over the 49ers, 17-14. That's Steve Bono filling in at quarterback to John Taylor, who beats Deion Sanders to the corner, 14-10 Niners. But the Falcons, 3rd and 10 from the 44, final seconds. Here's Jim Nantz.
This one up for grabs, and Falcons are down there. And the ball is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Michael Haynes!
Falcons go to 5-4 on the year. 49ers 4-5, 17-14 Atlanta, the final score. Buffalo usually scores about 40 points a game at home. Not today, but they did score enough to beat the Patriots 22-17. The final, Jim Kelly to Don Beebe here. Windy conditions at Rich
Yeah, and
Stadium.
it's getting cold, and you better have a running game. But look at this pass protection that Kelly has. That's the reason he's the #1 ranked quarterback, leading the league in every passing category there is.
237 yards and a touchdown pass for Kelly today. The Bills go to 8-1 on the year. The Patriots fall to 3-6. The New York Jets in overtime. Leahy with a winning field goal beat the Green Bay Packers by a score of 19-16. Tampa Bay at Minnesota. The Vikings win it 28-13. Terry Allen, 2 touchdowns, one of them a 54-yarder. And at Cincinnati, the Bengals survived. They beat the Cleveland Browns to win their first of the season. Matt Stover's potential game-winning field goal blocked by Eric Thomas with 9 seconds to go in the game. Sam Weish and the Bengals a winner for the first time this season. There'll be some celebrating in Cincinnati tonight.
Yeah, you bet. Stover beat them early in the year with just 4 seconds left on the clock, so the Bengals got a little revenge.
You didn't think I'd give you time to say that, did you?
I was going to get it in,
We'll
even
see
if
you
they
next
ran
week.
credits all over the world. I was going to get that in.
In 14 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song, United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's United.